10. Today we are starting our new topic on quadratics. So we get to spend a little bit of extra time on this topic because you guys aren't going on the ski trip anymore. So that will give us more time to master each of the skills in this topic. We'll be starting with a lot of the things that you learned about last year, and we'll be moving into some new work towards the end of the topic. So today we are starting with expanding expressions, and expanding is when you multiply the brackets out. So for example, if we have a 2 at the front of a plus 3, we multiply the 2 with the a to get 2a, and 2 times 3 to get the 6. You've been doing that for a long time now. You will also need to remember previous techniques such as the distributive law and the FOIL method, which I hope you remember from last year. We should also recognize how to quickly expand questions involving perfect squares and the difference of two squares. Okay, so they were some shortcut methods when expanding two sets of brackets. However, FOIL does always work, and that can be your backup plan if you forget the two shorter methods. So here we have in these first two boxes, these are the short methods for expanding perfect squares. So if I want to expand something like a plus b in brackets all squared, the short method tells us to multiply whatever the first thing in the bracket, so the a, we multiply that by itself. A times a gives us the a squared. Then for the second term, we multiply the a with the b and the little power of 2. So a times b times 2 makes 2ab. And then for the third term of the expansion, you multiply the b by itself. B times b makes b squared. Okay. The second box over here, very much the same. So if I want to expand that out, a times a makes a squared. For the second term, multiply the a with the minus b times the 2 to get minus 2ab. And for the third term, minus b times minus b makes a positive b squared because two minuses make a plus. Okay, so they are the perfect squares shortcut formulas. The second shortcut formula to remember is the difference of two squares. A difference of two squares is where you have two brackets where you have the same terms in the brackets, but one bracket has a plus sign and the other bracket has a minus sign. Now when this happens, the middle two terms of your FOIL expansion always cancel out. And so the shortcut is just to multiply the first thing in the brackets together, so a times a makes a squared, and the last things in each bracket together, so b times minus b makes minus b squared. Okay, so that was a quick little recap. Let's do some practice questions down here. So example number 1, expand the following. So you're going to have a mixture in here. You're going to have some distributive law, and then we're going to some harder FOIL type questions afterwards. So question 1 is just the distributive law. If I want to expand that bracket, I want to multiply 3 by a. 3 times a is 3a. And then I want to multiply 3 by a positive 4, which makes a positive 12. Let's do that again. For b, using the distributive law, minus 2 times 3m is minus 6m. Minus 2 times a minus 5 will make a positive, and 2 times 5 is 10. Part C, we just have two brackets here to expand. Just do one at a time. 2x times 3x, 2 times 3 is 6. X times x becomes x squared. Second term, 2x times minus 1 will be minus 2, and we also have an x. Now we move on to the second bracket and we want to expand the minus 4x into that bracket. So minus 4x times x is minus 4x squared. Then minus 4x times a positive 5. Minus 4 times 5 is negative 20 and the x. Okay, after we've expanded everything out, always check to see if you can collect any like terms. And in this question, we can. So we have 6x squared, take away 4x squared, which makes 2x squared. Then we also have minus 2x minus another 20x makes minus 22x. And that question's finished. Part D, we have a fraction in this question, but it's still going to be using the distributive law. So we want to multiply 3 over 5 times 10. Now you could multiply that on your calculator if you like, or you would know that 10 divided by 5 makes 2, and 2 times 3 makes that a 6x. Okay, then for the second one, we do 3 over 5 times by 3. Well, this time we can't actually do any cancelling with that 5. So all we can do is 3 times the 3, which is 9. And the 5 would sit on the denominator. And that's as simple as I can make that answer. In question 2, it says to expand the following. But this time, what we're going to be doing is using the FOIL technique. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, and last. And that's telling you to multiply those things together. So for part A, starting with the F for first, that means the first thing in each bracket, x times x, makes x squared. Then we move on to the O. O stands for the outside ones, the two out on the outside edge, those two there. So we go x times minus 5, which is minus 5x. O stands for inside, which is these two. So it's 2 times x is a positive 2x. And L stands for last, the last number in each bracket. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Like we did in the last question, we need to look for like terms to collect. And in this one, we have minus 5x and a plus 2x that are like terms. So my final answer will be x squared minus 5 plus 2 is a negative 3x, take away 10. Okay, let's try that again for B, doing a FOIL expansion. First times first, 2 times 5 is 10, and a times a is a squared. Then we want to do the outside, which means the 2a with the negative 4e. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, and then we have an a and an e. Next, we want to do the inside. 3 times 5 makes 15, and we have an a and an e again. And finally, last, 3e times negative 4e makes negative 12e squared. We do have some like terms here, minus 8ae and a positive 15ae. So we will get 10a squared minus 8 plus 15 will combine to make a positive 7ae, and the negative 12e squared sits on the end. In question 3 on the next page, we are still expanding, obviously, but these are the ones that have shortcuts. If you are ever stuck with these questions, you can always resort back to FOIL and do the full expansion. I will show you how to do that in a minute. But For question 3, the shortcut. Now this is using the perfect square formulas here. Okay, so we have the subtracted one, so the second formula. To expand that out using the shortcut method, you times the first thing in the bracket by itself. So x times x is x squared. For the second term, you multiply the x with the minus 3 with the 2 as well. So 3 times 2 is 6, with the x is minus 6x. Then you multiply minus 3 times minus 3 to get a positive 9. Okay, that's the shortcut. I would like you to all try to do the shortcut method, but just know the FOIL one as your backup. Okay, so using the FOIL backup, if you were stuck, you would write down x minus 3 times another x minus 3, because that's what squared means. And then you would do your FOIL expansion. X times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 3 times minus 3 makes a positive 9. Then you will still need to collect the middle two terms. But you get the same answer. X squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, so while the FOIL method obviously gives you the same answer, it is a lot more time consuming. And particularly in the higher levels of maths in year 11, time is very important in tests. So if you can use the shorter methods to expand, that would be very helpful to you. So for part B, I'm just going to use the shorter method to practice. So using that, we always multiply 3x by 3x. 3 times 3 is 9, x squared. Then we multiply 3x by 5 by 2. So 3 times 5 is 15, times 2 is 30, a positive 30x. And the last term will be 5 times 5, which is 25. Okay, question 4 is using the difference of two squares shortcut. So just a little reminder back here at the top of the other page, that is this formula here. So remember, in this method, it's the middle two terms that cancel out. So all I need to do, when you see the question, you'll see they both have x's and 3's, but one has a plus sign and one has a minus sign. It doesn't matter if the plus sign is first or second, it will work the same either way. So using the shortcut, I do x times x, which is x squared, and then I do the last ones together. Minus 3 times a positive 3 is negative 9. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay, remember your backup though. If you were looking at this question on a test and you went, oh, I don't know if I've done it right, you can always do the full FOIL expansion. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is a plus 3x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 3 times 3 is negative 9. These two middle terms will always cancel out when it is a difference of two squares, and you get the x squared minus 9. So let's use the shortcut for 4b. So all we need to do is go 2x times 2x, that makes 4x squared, and then 3y times minus 3y is negative 9y squared. And that's it. You just need to go and practice lots of expanding now.